Welcome, welcome. My name is Trish. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today's reading will be about Ghislaine Maxwell. So in the Daily Mail yesterday, there was an article about yesterday, which would have been the 14th of July here in Australia. There was an article indicating that she would like to testify before Congress. So I have a few questions about that. It does tie into the Epstein no list video that I done. So I want to just follow up on that. But before I do, I'm hoping today the sound issues are now corrected. I did buy a new mic and it's a bit different to my old mic, so it's been a little bit of a learning curve getting that mic correct. Seems to be doing well on what I'm looking at on the screen with the levels appear to be right, so hopefully I'll get through this video and everything will be okay. Now the other video that I done yesterday or the day before, which is the Trump meltdown on why are we still talking about Epstein, sound quality was atrocious on that one, so I've taken it down to try and repair the sound quality, and I'll put that one back up. There was a lot of beautiful comments on that video and a lot of really relevant questions, comments on that video, and I want to thank everybody that commented and with kind words or very valid opinions. I just want to say that you are right. I don't know what you're going through there in America. Now, that reading was about me tapping into Trump's energy on what he said, being that we should be focused on the Texas disaster and the things that he's done good instead of the Epstein stuff. So I was tapping into his energy then, and yeah, it was... and I do apologise if I've upset anybody there by that. There was no intention to upset anybody, and you are right, I do not know what you're going through there. We have things in Australia that we're going through here, but I really don't think it's anything like what you guys are going through over there, and UK as well. I think you guys have it really tough as well. Still for you, and I mean no harm intended with the readings, and yes, and some of you did enlighten me as to what you actually are going through over there. So, and it does seem quite tense, and a lot of big changes that don't sit well with people. So, and I didn't know any of that, so thank you for enlightening me on those things, and I do apologize if I upset anybody. And once again, I am thankful and grateful to everybody who made comments, and both beautiful comments as well as enlightening comments, so I do thank you. So let's get on to today's reading, and I'm hoping that my sound is good today so I can then continue on with the readings. We are getting close to Mercury retrograde, and I seem to be having so many technical issues going on around me that it's just ridiculous. It's really affecting me badly this time, even though it's not due for another 2 days to go to station. So let's get into the Ghislaine Maxwell reading. So on the Daily Mail, yesterday.com.uk, it's the Daily Mail Australia, there was an article about Ghislaine Maxwell. I won't go through the article. You can pop on online and read that for yourself. It just indicates that the talk of her, that she was offered a plea deal. It's saying that no, she wasn't, and also that she would really like the opportunity to testify before Congress. So I'd like to do a little reading on her just as I'm talking. I just want to get the energy around her. Now, why I'm interested in reading on Ghislaine is because in the list video that I done, the Epstein list, I said we need to pay attention to what happens next with Ghislaine Maxwell. So in that reading, I was picking up her, and I said we need to pay attention to that. So let's see. And then she's come out saying, or an article, and it could just be clickbait, who knows. So let's take a look at the energy around Ghislaine Maxwell when it comes to wanting to testify about the list. So I do apologise, I'm going to change screens. I've got 3 cards on the table, which I'm just going to leave there, but I do prefer transparency so you can actually see my hands shuffling and what's happening with the cards. So I'm going to change screens now and re-ask the question. Welcome back. So just taking a look at the cards on the table and what they could possibly mean. This is given the energy around Ghislaine Maxwell and when it comes to the list. Now, first of all, the first card that popped out was Voice of the People. I'm feeling this is related to, this is what the people want to hear, the news. This, you can see this picture here is indicating an announcement. It's news, it's headlines, it's what the people want to hear. So this headline that came out in the Daily Mail about Ghislaine wanting to give evidence before Congress, this is what the people, you see all the people anxiously waiting here. They want to hear this news. This is something the people want. They want her to speak. They want her to reveal the list. They want her to give information about whether or not there is a list. Now, there is a foreign threat at play here, and I did discuss a little bit about that in that first video, which was Epstein, the list, no list. This is the foreign threat. Now, if you think about certain names I won't say on videos, but if you think about her background and what her background is, that's foreign threats. So there is definitely foreign threats there. Now, there's something around her falling from grace. Falling from grace could indicate, you know, her being imprisoned is a definitely fall from grace from her normal lifestyle to being locked up. But I feel there's a little bit of connection in here with that foreign threat. There's a foreign threat of a fall. So she does have to be very careful about what she says. I've got liability down the bottom here. She doesn't want to become a liability. And I do have to, that brings me back to Virginia Griffey reading where she's recently passed, and there's talking about kill switches and everything with her. So again, that could limit people wanting to come forward here because of the threats that happen around this. Now, they're indicating liability. The situation is very unstable at the moment. This is the King of Cups, indicating that very, very powerful people, there's a lot of instability going on around powerful people. It's still, even though they're saying there's no list, it's been cleared, there's still a bit of instability going on around this. Now, facilitator is a person that organises everything, gets everything done. The kind of like the right-hand man. So I feel this is probably most likely related to Ghislaine herself being the right-hand man. Now, this is a card reading, all alleged, entertainment purposes only. No facts here. Now, this is the unresolvable differences. So let me just pull into this energy. Now, this I feel Epstein in the front, Ghislaine in the back. As I touch into this energy, I'm feeling that energy of deals that were made for him but not for her. So she's just been left out in the background, out in the cold. So there's a difficult decision coming up for her whether or not to change her alliances. Now, this is okay, so this is giving me feelings of, okay, she might be standing firm, keeping her mouth shut, worried about foreign threats, because you can see it's above that one there, but she's at a stage now where she's thinking, what's her deal? So even though she's saying in that article that she didn't receive a plea deal, this card here is showing me that he received plea deals in one of his cases. She did not. So this is her in the background. But over here, there's a difficult decision to make whether or not she shifts her alliance, opens her mouth, I guess, starts talking to, so then she receives her own deals over here. Now, there's no deal cards on the table as well, but I'm just feeling like this is Epstein, this is her, and being treated differently. So treated a little bit differently here. Disappointing results, unfortunately, in this case. So starting with the voice of the people, this is what the people are anxiously waiting to hear. You see with the microphone here, everybody's waiting to hear, anxiously hear what she's got to say, but down the bottom it's disappointing results. We have over here the rebirth is new beginnings, wanting new beginnings, but over here hand picking or hand selecting. So maybe that was part of her role, was the hand selecting of the people that were involved. Instability around a very powerful person being the king, which I've already spoken about, and liability we've got. So being very aware that she doesn't want to become a liability. So this is where that difficult decision will come into it. And down the bottom, forced being, is this a genuine act of disclosure or a strategic move? Cards here is this is a list deliberately obscured. So the list is being deliberately obscured as a matter of national defence because of the people that are implicated in this situation. So by the sounds of it, they're going to control the speech. This is controlled speech. This doesn't sound like she's going to get that opportunity to, and I'll just show you these two cards sitting to the side. Empty promises was one of them, and power of persuasion. So power of persuasion one way or the other, but I do feel empty promises here. So, and down the bottom we've got the controlled speech. So I feel like there's definitely being controlled about what's going to come out. Scrutiny is going to be happening, like judgmental scrutiny, because of the deliberately obscuring the information. Maybe somebody's going to be targeted here. There's going to be a targeted attack on somebody related to this. Support or assistance. So okay, what I'm getting when I'm looking at these cards up here is I feel her energy. She's got this relentless determination, but I feel like she's going to have her hand forced. Now, this could be some kind of deal where if she shuts her mouth, there's some kind of deal made, but it doesn't look like it's made from a place of that benefits anybody or that is what she wants to do. Her hands will be forced one way. Now, this could be one way or another. Her hands could be forced to reveal the list that's been deliberately obscured. But I do feel strongly with this energy that it is for national defence, this information will be obscured. But her hand will be forced, whether to sign something, non-disclosure, or an NDA here, or it could be some kind of deal that's made that she has to sign away some kind of rights or NDA on certain things. I do feel strongly that's what that is. So she's signing away a non-disclosure on certain things or certain people that won't be released. But there's a lot of scrutiny over here because the list has been obscured. National defence sits on top of targeted attack. That could be read separately to the other stuff. It could be it becomes a national, like a unrest here because, and then there's some kind of targeted attack over here. Forced hand sitting on top of support or assistance. So forced hand being to support herself, her legal, you can see all these legal papers here stacked up. It's somebody preparing for court or somebody getting their case prepared. In order to support that, her hand will be forced to sign either an NDA or some kind of plea deal. But definitely, even though she has relentless determination here, she has to be very controlled about what she says, and it will be related to what she signs over here or part of the deal that is made. Persuaded is the other card sitting to the side. Persuaded to sign, accept a deal, further obscure information, even though that's what the people want to hear. It did say on that last spread that it was a disappointing result. Okay, one more pull for Ghislaine Maxwell. Cards final spread. First of all is that she's looking at what leverage she has, and she's being very careful not to become a liability. So where I said I was getting feelings of the Virginia Giuffre, we had targeted attack also in that last spread as well. Has to be very careful not to become a liability here. She's got to weigh up her options over here. It's the Justice card. Over here, the socialite, the Queen of Cups, I feel this is her energy. On the last spread, we had the King of Cups. King of Cups saying instability. This is the socialite. This is the Queen of Cups. I feel this is her energy. Now, something similar under the same umbrella. A similar situation. Okay, so sitting on top of the liability, we've got the scandal with the lovers. Leverage. Okay, here we've got leverage, the leverage that she has, or she has to be very careful. the leverage that she's thinking about, what leverage she has that doesn't make her a liability, and it's related to scandal or lovers, information that she knows. Also, information about what comes out about her as well. Gone but not forgotten. This could be Epstein sitting next to scandal, across from liability, below leverage. There is a deal over here on the table. The negotiation is the deal. When I said in the last spread there's no deal card on the table, we have a deal card. Now, to try and get some kind of stability, there's some kind of deal that needs to be made here with her. This feels kind of touch and go. It feels to me like, see these scales over here, they feel like really have to be careful what plays are made over here. Now, and I say that one of the questions that I had was strategy. Is this is this a genuine act of disclosure, or is this a strategic move? Well, I feel like this is a strategic move, and it has to be a strategic move for her. So she has to be very careful about what she does here. She has to be very strategic with how she handles this. Maybe there's a change of course coming for her. We did have that card on the last spread that said something very similar. Shifting alliance, I think it said. Different. So it's not what you would expect. So it's going to be different. It's not what you expect. And we had the sacrifice card here. So this is what I mean. This is why it's needing to be very, very careful. We've got liability and sacrifice on the table. And she's looking at what leverage that she has around the scandal here. Umbrella, with this energy here, I'm just going to come back to it because I didn't explain it. I'm feeling this is, so some kind of deal that was made for Epstein, not made for her. Why isn't she under that same umbrella? Or maybe she's making a deal to be put under the same umbrella. So whatever that deal was made for him on that first time he went to court and made some kind of deal, there's some kind of negotiations around her being put under that same umbrella. That's her sitting above, trying to get underneath that same umbrella through negotiation to get a little bit more stability. There's a lot of tension around her, and I think it could also be related to what I just paused for then. I thought I need to pull a card of the connection between Ghislaine and the passing of Virginia, meaning the obvious, but also meaning, is this affecting her play now, her strategic moves now? So I think all of these do make sense. So that last question I will do will be, I'll take a look at the Virginia passing, the effects on Ghislaine. That's all I'm going to do there. I'm just going to leave. I'm not going to explain these too much. All alleged, entertainment purposes, no fact. I'm going to read the cards out for you. It says involved, committed to the plan, set up or taking the blame, corrupted, bad choices, and trauma. So I'm not going to go into those too much. I'm just going to leave them open. So thank you so much for joining me. I really hope that this mic works this time so I can then be right to make other videos. But I am going to try and fix the sound on the last video and re-upload that. So thank you so much for watching.